Nate, as the ball game started, the Cavaliers jumped out on a 8-2 run. You guys took it, knotted it up at 8, and then didn't look back from that. What was the difference tonight in your approach and what you were able to accomplish?
You know, it's do or die for us, and we came out with a sense of urgency. I thought we did a good job of establishing the pace tonight as well as the tempo. Defensively, we were much more aggressive, pressuring the ball and keeping the ball in front of us and not allowing them to, get to the basket as they did in Game 5. And, just we was better connected on both ends of the floor. I thought the defense was connected. We were solid, offensively executed, moved the ball, attacked the basket, and pretty much played that way for the 48 minutes.
Oladipo had a dramatic turnaround from the last 3 games. Had you had conversations with him? Did you have any sense this was coming or that he had struggled with confidence?
Yeah, we've been talking after every game about, just different things that he's seeing and, covering the defense that, they're playing against him. And, just continue to be aggressive. I felt like, he was at times pressing, playing a little too fast. I thought tonight really he came out and played the same game. He was knocking down his shots. He remained aggressive. And, whenever he's playing that way offensively, it really opens up a lot for the rest of our guys. So it was good to see him knocking down his shot and just seeing our guys respond to this challenge. It was a big challenge for this team, but they've responded all season long to challenges.
Nate, kind of piggybacking on that thought, you've been in these type situations as a coach and then a player more than a lot of guys you'll be coaching Sunday have. How much do you think your team can take from the fact that you guys have won in Cleveland this year, you've won a playoff game in Cleveland, and even the games you guys lost were close? How much do you really think that can help you come Sunday?
Well, basically that challenge was presented to them tonight. How bad do we want it? This was going to show, I thought, our character. And I thought these guys responded, to all the things we had on the board about this game tonight, wanting to go back. You really want to go back. And we never talked about losing. We talked about winning. And they answered that with the way they played tonight, So going back to Cleveland, we feel we got a chance. We got to play better than we did even tonight to win that game. But we definitely feel we have a chance.
Nate, multiple guys at practices and after games have mentioned that it's felt throughout this series like the pressure is not on you guys. It's always been on Cleveland. Felt very much like the pressure was on them tonight to close out. Now, again, it's back to they're supposed to win. You guys aren't. You mentioned kind of feeling like you have a chance. Does it feel more so, though, that you're kind of going freely into this, that the pressure is completely off?
Pressure's on both teams. The loser goes home. So there's, for us, we take it one game at a time, and we prepare ourselves for that next game. And, the next game is on the road. We understand the conditions we're playing in, but to say they feel more pressure than the losers go home. And, so it's pressure on both teams. We're not going to be satisfied with just going up there and playing a good game and, losing it. We have an opportunity, and we're going to go and try and take advantage of it.
Nate, you guys have had some tough losses in this series, but you've bounced back after each one. Does any of that surprise you, especially when you factor in the team you're playing with LeBron on it and the relative youth of your team?
these guys have been doing this all season long, and bouncing back after a bad half. We've been down a number of games at the half, and have come back and won games. Just as we've dropped games in Cleveland, we're not really focusing on the Cavaliers of the past and what people are saying, the outside noise. We just focus on the next game and winning that game and playing better than we did in our last game. And we're not looking or listening to anything other than that, And one thing that we have talked about, the outside noise, what people are saying, they can't help us. Only people can help us are the people in that room, that locker room. And they believed in each other. They've came out, they competed for each other tonight and beat, a fucking really good team.
Nate,
Still kind of fired up here.
you mentioned before that Victor playing well really empowers the rest of your team. Did you sense when he made that first three that this night might be more like the Victor that you've been able to rely on throughout the year?
I've believed in Victor all season long, and he's a kid that he doesn't really get down on himself. Whether he has a bad half or a bad game. That play the other night where he had his shot blocked. He responded with aggressive play tonight, and we believe in him. He's a kid that absorbs what you try to tell him. He tries to do and play the game the right way that it needs to be played out there on the court. When teams are double teaming him, we're telling him to get the ball out. He did that. When he has single coverage, take your shot, attack. He did that. He's having to, play both sides of the ball, guarding Korver. Thought he did a better job on Korver tonight. So he just continues to come out and show growth and improvement.
Nate, you don't have a lot of Game 7 experience in that room. What can you tell these guys about what they're going to be dealing with on Sunday?
Really, for us, it's the same. We're facing the same thing Sunday as we were facing tonight. We don't win, we go home. And, the way we have to do that is to do it together. We have to leave everything we have out on that floor. But we have to do it together. So, we'll just be playing the second game of elimination. And it'll be on their floor. Both teams have won and lost on their home floor. So, really similar to tonight. We have to be the aggressors. We have to execute out there. And we have to do that together.
Nate, Domas has been a huge spark for you the past couple of games. What have you seen from him that maybe he wasn't giving you those first few games of the series?
As you mentioned, he has been huge. He's been big, defending, scoring. I thought we did a good job of recognizing advantages tonight and getting the ball to some matchups that we felt we could take advantage of. We showed a lot more patience, and part of that is due to making reads. Domas, they're switching guards on our fives, and, we have to take advantage of that when they give us matchups like that.